Imperator.
Correct.
The guy who says, I order, I command, I rule, I live. Induco, Inducare, Induxi, Inductus, 3.
Induco, Inducare, Induxi, Inductus 3. Lead on, influence.
Alright. No KO, no carry, no cooey, blank, 2.
No kale, no carry, no cooey, blank 2. Injure, harm.
So if something's innocuous, it's
Harmful.
harmful. But if something's innocuous,
Not harmful.
not harmful. Parco, Parcari, Paperki, Parsurus, 3.
Parco, Parcari, Paperki, Parsurus 3. Spare.
In the sense of sparing someone. Like,
Mhm.
spare me. Okay. Permoeo, Permoere, Permoi, Permotus, 2.
Permoeo, Permoere, Permoi, Permotus 2. Influence, disturb, alarm.
Persuadeo, Persuadere, Persuasi, Persuasurus, 2.
Persuadeo, Persuadere, Persuasi, Persuasurus 2. Persuade. That makes sense.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Propteria.
Propteria. On this account.
Propteria quod.
Propteria quod. Because.
So there's a short way to say because, quod, and there's a long way to say because. Propteria quod.
Does it mean like anything different or just.
I
Because.
haven't noticed any difference.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure that the ancient Romans must have had some flavor of difference between why would you say propteria quod and why would you just say quod. But I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't run in.
Grandpa? Okay. It's not even picking me up today.
It's your traditional 10 a.m. phone call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Naomi, are you up yet? Alright.
It does that sometimes, actually.
Resisto, resistere, restiti, blank, 3.
Resisto, resistere, blank 3. Resiti? Or
How's
is
that
it
third one go anyway?
resist?
I think it's. She doesn't tell you how much word there is before it. So it could be restiti, or it could be resistiti. Emma's gonna check for us.
I'm looking for it in the sentence. Did I find the sentence? Restiti.
Is it resistere number 1 on 305?
Page 301.
Page 301.
You get an essay. Perfect active infinitive. In
Whose line?
Robertus.
Whose line is it?
Second line of Robertus's sentence.
Oh, okay. To say. So it's the shorter version. It's just
Restiti.
restiti. Resisto, resistere, restiti, blank, 3.
Withstand, resist. Okay.
Okay. Did anybody have any questions or concerns on the vocabulary words?
So, permoeo, influence, is that like a bad influence? Like it, because like then the other definitions are disturb and alarm.
Like 3 influences.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So there's a lot in here about influencing, because there's going to be a story about how Orgetorix influences the Helvetians to take a big march across Switzerland and leave their home country and blah blah blah. So the permoeo one is probably the most negative,
Yeah, okay.
because moeo means to move somebody, and permoeo means to like shake them up or
Oh, okay.
get them really really off their game. The Induco and the Auduco, I think, are maybe a little tamer.
Okay.
Lead on, lead to, influence. Okay, so for our next trick, let's go ahead and take on dative with special verb. This is from page 302. New stuff is dative with special verb. And the idea with dative with special verb is that there are some verbs that take their object in the dative case. And she was kind to you to not tell you about that until now. So the first note, or the easy note would be some verbs take dative. And I'm going to put direct object in quotation marks because it's like a direct object, but it's not really a direct object. So, pardon?
Are we recording?
I hope so. I think so.
She's done her very best, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It was recording, and I hope it still is.
So, let me explain how they think about this. The list that you got has a whole bunch of verbs that take dative, and I'll point those out to you. The new list has dative taking verbs. Credo is one of them. So you put in credo. So let's say we're having a conversation and you tell me something controversial and I say, I believe you. The Romans would hear, I give belief to you. Or I give faith to you. And so they would say, credo. Give me the you, somebody quick.
Oh, what?
Credo, I believe you. Credo.
Oh, two.
No.
Tay.
Tibby.
Tibby. It's dative.
Dative. Oh.
It's dative. So credo tibi, I believe you. I got this. Literally, I offer belief to you. Or I give belief.
Oh.
Let's take another one. Maybe you would want to, let's see, persuadeo, I think, is another dative taker from your list. So you might have something like,
Now Michaela's trying to FaceTime. I guess it's working on my phone now.
well, if you want to bring her in, you can.
Now as soon as I answered it, it canceled the call.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know what's up with my FaceTime. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to text her and tell her it's not working.
That's fine.
And tell her we're filming for her.
Tell her we're filming. That would probably be the most comforting thing. Okay, here's another one. So persuadeo takes dative, and so I did legatus imperatori persuasit. The ambassador persuaded
The chiefs, leaders, generals.
One. General.
General.
dative singular.
Oh. It's not.
So this is so here's dative with special verb. Here's dative with special verb. And how do you think about it? You go, the ambassador gave persuasion to.
Oh.
Okay. Alright. There's a good way to kind of keep a hold on this from page 302. In the discussion, she says, certain verbs that are transitive in English have an indirect object in Latin instead of a direct object, but the dative is translated as if it were the accusative. So we don't have to bother with, I give belief to you. You don't have to write it that way. You can just say, I believe you. But the Romans would have thought of it in the dative sort of way.
Okay.
Okay. The ambassador, persuaded the general. That's fine. It's fine to think of it that way. So, now here's the list. Such verbs are, do you see where I am?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Such verbs are, you should read them with me so they stick. Ready? Go. Favor, help, injure, please, trust, distrust, command, obey, serve, resist, threaten, envy,
pardon, spare, and persuade.
And then she gives a list of 7 examples that she tells us contain the idea of giving or showing. So I'm just looking at number 1, suis amicis favet. He favors, he gives favor to, or he shows favor to his own friends. Or I could look down to number 5, patres plebi no current. The patricians wronged, the patricians gave injury or showed injury to the plebeians, and stuff like that. So that's the basic idea about it. Is everybody okay?
So that's how we have to like translate it into English. Is the patricians gave injury to the people.
Oh, if you want to go the long, painful way.
So we can just do the patricians wronged people just as
Yeah.
long as we can see it, but just to make sure to translate it into Latin with the dative.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Totally fine. So it's only about remembering which verbs take dative.
Okay.
So it's based on the verb, which ones take dative, and I'll show you those in a second. Let's do a study help. Emma, can you do the study help?
There are some exceptions to this rule, as uo help, ubeo order, and delecto please. These govern the accusative.
So the Romans weren't 100% consistent on this idea. And you already know uo and ubeo and delecto. Govern accusative. Okay, so 302A. Let's just try a couple of those each. So, parce mihi means spare me. Joey, next one.
I believe you.
Yeah. Naomi, you're at Novis Parque.
Spare the nobles.
Spare us.
Spare us.
Yeah, nobles would need a letter L in it.
Right. Yeah.
Other than that, it's not bad. It would. Emma, it's a good one for you. No, on Naomi's, change hers to spare the nobles.
Nobilibus parque.
Right. Thank you. You want to do the next one? Go ahead.
Me?
No, I said Emma
Okay.
can do that one.
I was like,
I order y'all.
I order you all. Yep, I command you all to do something, but it doesn't tell us that part. Hosti noke bit. He will harm the enemy. And the enemy here is singular for whatever reason. And Joey, I always love this one. Hockey student.
What's student?
Studio, I am eager for.
Oh yeah, like studious. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So eager for few.
So student, who's eager?
Student. They.
Mm-hmm. What are they eager for?
They're eager for peace.
Right. They're eager for peace.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, Naomi.
persuade me.
It's not a command.
I mean, what?
So like the persuasive ends with a T, right?
So he persuaded me.
He
She
persuaded me or
persuaded
she
me.
persuaded me. Emma, last one for you.
He persuaded the men. Or he ordered the men.
Verb tense.
He orders the men.
He orders them in. And then the last one I'll do. He persuaded the leader. Okay. If you were to look in your list, go one page ahead to 304. Verbs that I am sure take the dative it's fine if you want to put a dot by the verb or something like that, because these books aren't going past you at all. Okay, credo takes dative. So does impero, nokeo, parco, persuadeo, resisto. Those all take dative. I'm not at all saying to you that those are the only verbs that take dative. I'm saying those are the ones that I'm sure take dative. Okay. Dative with compound verb is on the top of the next page. And for the sake of time, we're just going to read through that one. So, Joey, would you be willing to start discussion?
Sure. Many verbs compounded with prepositions govern the dative of indirect object. They may be divided into two classes. 1. Intransitive verbs which cannot take a direct object.
As in, Pompeius exercui prae fuit. Pompey was in command of the army. Let's chop that open for a minute. So, Pompey subject, prae fuit. Okay, the prae sum means I am in command of. So this is a perfect tense. Prae sum, prae esse, prae fui. So he was in command of, and since sum doesn't take a direct object because it's intransitive, they put the army that he's in command of in dative. That's why it's exercitui dative. Okay with my explanation? Okay. Naomi, can you read us number 2?
Transitive verbs which can take a direct object and a dative of the indirect object. The indirect object depending on the preposition compounded with the verb.
And that one, senatus octavium exercitui prae fecit. Okay, the Senate placed Octavius in command of the army. So the prae fecit is doing two things. The Senate places Octavius, he turns accusative because he's getting placed, but what he's getting placed in command of turns dative in command of the army. So there's an example of a verb where the preposition causes the indirect object, causes the dative sort of thing. Emma, would you take us through study help number 1?
The following are among the prefixes used in these verbs: ad, ante, cum, which is cum, de, in, inter, ab, post, pri, pro, sub, and super.
Spectacular. And then number 2, if the prefix is only adverbial, the accusative of the direct object only is used. Copias prime misit. Mito would normally take accusative, so the copias are direct object, and therefore the pri doesn't change anything except to say that they're getting sent ahead. The section 1 in this chapter is really